Dang. I'm also sitting on the floor. Hang on a second. How come I'm, like, barely keeping my head above... There we go. I shrank. What can I say? Oh, I'm also, like... My camera is, like, all screwed up this morning. So, today, the holiday is yada 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 day. I mean, I just did a whole mess of yada yada yada. But the question is, where did this phrase come from? It's been around for a long, long time, and when I did a little bit of snooping on it, it's like they didn't really say where it came from or what it was about, but it was made famous in the 1990s by Seinfeld show, and they started talking about, you know, it was like the continuation of, here's the story, blah, 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 blah. Instead of blah, 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 they go yada, yada, yada. So, today I'm doing yada, 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 and I've got Chad Fist here, and he is ready to go. And where I left Chad off, he's my monk in Final Fantasy. Where I left him was he had two instances that he has to go through. So one of them is a hardcore instance, and that's this location where I am. Then the other one is a, I wouldn't say softcore. Softcore. That's not the right phrase. The other one is for the main storyline. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and queue up for the main storyline. And we'll do that duty. So, duty. Entering dungeons, yes. Yeah, I knew that already. So, I already did those. What was the other? The other one, there's two different dungeons. I got to do the Striking Tree hard. Okay, and I don't see it on this list here. Let me exit that. See if I can find it. Duty support, try Hall of the Novice, timers. Should be able to find it here. Okay, leveling trials. Is it a trial? Main scenario, that's where it is. Following not met. Average item level of 90. Great. Okay, we got that. Let's try main here. And none of those. Striking Tree, hard. Can I get into it? Okay, that's the one I want. So I'm going to join that one. Alright, so I am in the duty finder, and it takes about 9 minutes. So I thought what I would do is just kind of like figure out what I'm doing with regards to my layout. Because I started playing around a little bit with my layout, and I did a little bit. One of the things I noticed last time was that when I was messing with this, I probably oh, Crystal Gate. Let's go through the Crystal Gate and get out of here. Yes, I'm going to leave the 8-cent signs. There we go. I don't want these guys bugging me. Try to get out of here. Where's the exit? That way. So I found that I was starting to have issues with regards to how my stuff was set up. I had basically allowed for everything to just kind of drop onto my action bar. And so I wanted to do a little bit of setup and clean up things and kind of figure out if I could come up with a standard way of putting... Oh, we're not dealing with that again, are we? God. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting spammed. Lovely. All right. So anyway, the idea is that I'm trying to put together what order I should have. And one of the things that I'm having difficulty finding information on is the way that the chakras work. There are 3 chakras for your monk. And think of them as like stances for like warrior. Back in classic World of Warcraft, you had DPS stance, you had tank stance, and you had there was another one, I forget what it was, but you have same type of thing available in monks. So if you enter the stance, you start out with one stance, and then if you do a particular order of strikes or actions, then you enter a second stance. And that stance allows for you to go and hit a new cycle. And that particular cycle is, oh, we're having issues with the chat again today. Lovely. There we go. All right, it's back on now. Maybe. All right. So anyway, bottom line is that I have not figured it out. I've got to go and play with a... Oh, duty's ready. Well, I guess we're going to go. Let's go do this. This ought to be fun. So I was looking up how to do this particular group, and it was stay out of the shit, and also it'll be interesting to see if I can figure out how to do the lightning strikes. So there's like lightning balls or whatever on the floor and stuff, so I got to figure out how to do that. But before I try doing the raid, it's a 24-person raid, and that one might be a little tougher. It didn't look like it was a particularly difficult, but this will give me a chance to play with my chakras. And I got to stay away from the tank, which is going to be interesting because I'm a melee. So how do I stay away from the tank? I say opposite the tank, I guess. Oh, I'm frozen. Good. Someone undid me. Thank you. Yeah, pretty much everyone's like ignoring the stuff here, but oh. Hey, we won. Thank God for higher level players, you know? Yay! Alright, cool. I guess I'm exiting. So now I got to go back to where this... Oh, here we go. Ramu says, okay. What's he doing? Oh, thank you. Yay. Okay, I gotta remember, I need to read this out loud if you guys are having trouble seeing it on the screen, but it says, shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by the guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, or if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost. Okay, that's a good thing. And, yeah. Erringer, thou hast slain the Lord of Leven, a regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Asians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here's a little story. So, our younger son doesn't like the toilet paper we buy. And so I guess he made a comment to his older brother that he's going to get a bidet. He says, I'm going to buy a damn bidet because I'm tired of the toilet paper rips up my butt and stuff like that. It's just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, he's, yeah. So anyway, I guess his older brother bought him a bidet for his birthday. It's one of these bidet seats, right? So it gets attached to the toilet and everything. So I guess I'm going to be installing a toilet seat, a squirting toilet seat later this week. That's too funny. All right, so here I am back to, this is where I just finished the quest, which is great. So now I need to go, but oh, where do I go now? Because I don't see any quest. Leven and impression insulted until, oh, here it is. So where do I go back? Where is this? Hawthorne Hut. So back to Hawthorne Hut. Okay, I could have ridden, but this is fine. We'll do it this way. And we'll fly over there. There it is. The Serpent Lieutenant. Hello. What do you have to say? Private Fist, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? He received my fist up his backside really well. He challenged you to a test of arms? It is well, then, that you have some experience in such matters. Well, now I do. The peoples of both Gridania and Little Solus will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the Forest Champion of Peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Private Fist. The Elder Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. Okay. Quest complete. So where do I go now? And how come it's not showing up over here? Insulted intelligence is... where? Nanaland. Oh, and this is in Ul'dah? I guess so. I gotta go back to Ul'dah? Yep, back to Ul'dah. Okay. Oh, wait a second. This guy's got a quest. Duh. Alright, Serpent Lieutenant is ready to send you on your way. Good. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The conjurer at Nofika's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well, Private Fist. Now I've got it showing over here. Somehow I lost the... I ended up losing the quest line there, and it's like, okay, what do I do? Alright, so I am not far from... Well, I should be able to just, like, go over there. Well, that's Hawthorne Hut, but I don't... Okay, well, I'm going to go off to Gridania. So teleport. New Gridania. So you would think that I would be playing World of Warcraft today. And I probably will play a little bit later today, but I've got stuff to do. Alright, so let's see. Where is this quest? Where is my super suit? Okay. Old Gridania. Okay, so one way or another, I gotta go to Old Gridania. And I know that there's... Okay, so we're gonna go to the adjoining area. And where is the... There it is down there. So, okay. So, Conjurer's Guild. Okay, so I need to go take a taxi over to the Conjurer's Guild. Where is the taxi? So, oh, I can just... I can do it right off the... Oh... It's been a rough week. Okay, Athernet and Conjurer's Guild and take care. Okay. And now I can go and talk to this person who will let me in. Welcome back, honored Scion. We who knew of the mission have been most anxious to see you return. The Elder Seedseer awaits you within. Yes, I'm going to proceed. There we are. Hello, Seedseer. Your return to us, dear friend, none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. Yep, no, I don't want to do that. Enable text auto advance. No, I don't want to toggle that on. The following can be used to adjust speed for unvoiced dialogue. No, I don't want. Okay, so we're just going to click. I'm informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramu ended in conflict. Pray tell what befell. And I yada 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 with her. Ramu made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, we need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartane, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union, yet the ties which bind the alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibilities. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one, yet I fear that dream is still far off. Shakes her head. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elements both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. I'm trying to find another key that will allow me to progress the story without having to click, but that's not... Apparently that's not a thing. Voices of the forest, pray speak, and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart? It's a drifting flower. Cool stars, though. And back to Gridania. Alright. Papalymo, talk to me. Thus ends another daunting mission. Eh, Chad? I guess. I'd hope Lord Ramu could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the primal's sudden challenge. And it seems that Uringer too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Chad? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stone and ponder the lessons of the day? Oh, sure, why not? So now I have to go back to the Rising Stone. Okay. And that... No, I don't want to go there. That's all the way back at Reverend's Toll. Why did I leave? I'm going going the wrong way like usual. Reverence Toll. Okay, I'm in Reverence Toll. I gotta go in here. No, that's the exit. I just came from there. Well, I'm looking at my map and I started going to the left. Okay, what little gods are made of? And I go in the door. And I go in the second door. And there's all these different quests. So it's starting to look like my World of Warcraft. There's like quests everywhere. Okay, Minophilia. Welcome back, Chad. Where the momentous encounter with Lord Ramu precedes you. I'm sure it does. I would fain share news of mine own, but Eringer's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Leven, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ashen's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. Okay. And here comes the group. Hey guys, everyone is ready. Let us begin. Urianje, the floor is yours. Urianje. I thought it was Yuri Anger, but it's Urianje. Okay. As all here assembled now know, it is final hour as our order's headquarters. The Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ashian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ashians are eternal beings to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience. Okay. In the intervening time, Urianger and Urianje and I have stricken to discover a means by which the Ashians might more permanently be slain. And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahajan elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Estola at the time of the Transfiguration have proven most enlightening. And she nods. The disruption of the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic, so tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles. My googles. The significance of Stola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own. Taken at the instance of the Lord of Leven's demise, unlike the primal, Sahagan was not subject to etheric dissipation. Before discussing our discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. How do those little etherics behave? Are they well behaved, or are they not? Here's a lesson. Let's begin at what some may call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of the ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. Okay, so essentially soul, spirit, etc. goes into the ether. Okay. In turn, the restless energy which suffices that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to a new life. Reincarnation? It could be. Who knows? They just reuse the souls over and over again. 'Tis as the heaven did decree, the way of our mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated. So, they're saying that there are only so many souls or so many essences to go around. And so they just keep cycling. Ultimate recycle. All right, that works. Now, primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Okay, so they're not really here, they're just like fake here. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm. Energy of its shattered spirit. Okay, so the shattered spirit, but what happened? Oh, the essence of its form seeps back in the land because it didn't have actual form. It was ethereal. And the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm. Okay. So, yeah. And there it waiteth till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether to take their offerings of crystals and make for itself a new body. Okay, so that's why they all gather the crystals, because the only way that it can make its body is by using the crystals. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, I can be learned. Which brings us to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own. Okay. Which is quite, even as the Sahuagin elder fell to the admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud which immediately took possession of a nearby minion. So it just like went from one minion to the other minion kind of thing. It's okay. A soul that dissipeth not upon the death of the flesh. The secret of life everlasting in the claws of a Sahuagin, no less. But I wonder what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim. Yeah, so it's got to have, like, you know, a body. So like the Trills in Star Trek, right? You know, gotta have a suitable host. If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there. Okay. Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further. So it doesn't go back into the ether. It just goes onto the shore and it hangs out, I guess. Yet it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. Okay, so they're in the in-between. The Ashians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described. Crystal of darkness. Okay, so it's the crystal of darkness allows them to get to the in-between. Okay. I was hoping people had forgotten about that. Thank you, Thancred. I am sorry, my friend. For mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer. The Sahuagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. Sahuagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness. Oh, okay, so he couldn't transfer to the in-between because he didn't have a dark crystal. Got it. Okay. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ashians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection. Estola's got one. I guess that's what she's going to do. Cool. Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion. You just got to keep them from going to the in-between. These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack visible means to entrap the extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together. And I guess there's internal discussion. Oh, I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Charlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved. I have the utmost faith in you, Archon. He's kind of an... Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Charlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Badelsin. That's because they're not around. They couldn't find them. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you to surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer. I shall, Archon, thank you. So he is an odd duck, and I just have a suspicion he hasn't played a whole large role in the game so far, but he's certainly coming out of it now and playing a much deeper role, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes into play as we move forward. Okay, the Lord of Levin is returned to the ether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramu's acquiescence was most intriguing. I'm not going to try to pronounce these names. Infernal, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin. All have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. Those are all primals, and they've all been defeated. So the limitless potential of man, Heidelin's servant, grows mightier by the day. These guys must be sitting in the in-between. That's why it's dark and it's kind of... Okay, so they're in the in-between. Elidibus. Yet he prospers at a great cost to his mistress, whose strength is all too infinite, all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. Weak and wan? Yet even as it innervates the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. I wonder what this guy is up to. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort? Question, question. Oh, another guy. Lehabria, divine seeds were ever wont to quicken to Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hands shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. So I'm still trying to figure out, this guy's in the middle, but he's not the leader, or is he the leader? Don't know. Quest complete. Good. Okay, I got 2,300 pugilist experience points. Minophilia has some correspondence she wishes to share with you. Okay. Talk to me, Minophilia. Now the matter of Ramu has, for the present, been put to rest. There is something I would show you, Chad. Okay. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals. Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mogul, Mog the 12th, Leviathan, and now Ramu. It talks about Ramu. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you all above all others. Oh. I, too, must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You're a true hero, Chad. Eorzea is that much the safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I say safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ashians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without the encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, and the primals too, will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of us, this deed served to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. We have to live in peace, but killing things gets people stoked. How cool is that? That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and people who have won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylph of little solace, I wish not of conflict. Of the Alamegans and the Dolmens who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Alag, that we might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. And of course, when speaking with our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ashians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is heartwarming, ascendant. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not be inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Who was this? Ah, okay. Alphanod. Minifila. Alphanod, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention? There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organizations we discussed. I have a message for you from Ella. You recall the refugee girl? The one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Oh, that was cool. That was the guy that, like, ended up getting shot in the head or something like that. There was a bow and arrow, killed him, right? Okay. I was chasing after the guy, and Elle says, there he is. He's the guy that talked to my parents. It's like, okay. Why Alphanod? Am I to understand that you made the effort to report the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Okay. So that's a joke, apparently. Chad, you have been away from the Reverend's Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for a moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozan was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Okay. That must be Yozan. Yozen, Hosen, Wozen. Yeah. Yozen was one of the kids, I think, that was back in the old area, and we had to talk to him and stuff. Okay, so where am I going? I got to go outside and talk to Yozen. Yes. Yozen is right there. All right, before I talk to Yozen, hey kid, before I talk to Yozen though, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be back shortly, so hang in there. Thanks. I'm back, and I need to talk to Yozen. Yozen, Hosen, Wozen. I need to keep my phone out because we are expecting another... Oh, Twitch drops for the Old Republic. Cool. I'll have to see what's in there. Yeah, we've got all kinds of contractors and stuff we're still dealing with, so I got one more contractor to talk to this week for our roof. Roof. Look, it's Mr. Chad. He's back from his adventure. We heard you were off fighting primals and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Mr. Chad? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Uh-oh, someone coming in. Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltonet, did you know that Mr. Chad is back? I don't know who these two are. One's a paladin, I guess. So Hoary Boulder. So it would seem. Welcome home, Chad. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. Oh, so these guys are new characters. Lovely. And Hoary Boulder. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the art of combat. Ugh, I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Mr. Chad if he could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside him, don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Chad? A demonstration of his skills at arms, you will? Hoary, if I didn't know better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Chad? Would you consent to spar with me? And apparently I'm going to. As long as you don't touch my hair. Hooray! We're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for the outing. Do try not to disappoint them, Have faith, Coltonet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Okay, I'm curious whether this is a gear check, because they typically don't throw something like this into the game unless there's an actual reason for it. Okay, where let's see. Where's the exit? Over here? That's not the exit. That's the entrance, so it's going to be right there. Exit to Reverence Toll. And I guess I go out this way. Oh, do I have any mail? No, I do not have any mail. Okay. Okay. There we go. So I gotta talk to this guy now, I guess. 'Twas good of you to agree to this, Chad. I trust you are ready to begin? Yeah. Ah. Well, thank you. I am tilting my head because I have my chat that I use reads the chat messages when they come in. And so with the name that this person just commented, it's like, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. But the 777777777 got pronounced out. And it's like, oh God, this is going to be horrifying if this person... I'm going to be hearing 777777777 in my ears all the rest of the afternoon. I will consider it on the Discord. You can see my Discord on my info. So if you look at my info, you'll find it there. And if you're just like trying to get my Discord info, well, like I said, I put it there and we'll talk later. All right, very well. Let us not keep the younglings waiting for long. Hori, are you certain you wish to fight him alone? That is Chad you face. Not Chad, that's the Chad. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Chad to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Oh, 2 versus 1. Okay, nice. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Who is this? Ah. Yada? What? Who are all these people? I heard that you were about to sparring match. I told everyone I could find, thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. This could be embarrassing. Yes, and there are still more to come. When I mentioned Chad's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Oh, no. I am scared now. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. And here we go. Is he already gone? Ugh, such power, the tail's barely. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? It's not over yet. It can't be. I and the children have the right of it. This time I joined the fray. On your feet, Jorge. Oh no, he looks hurt. Oh, this person's not gonna... Hey! Hi, Mill. Missed you, bud. How's it going? Looks like I crushed the other one. Oh! So you did this over the weekend? You got married over the weekend? How cool is that, dude? Congratulations! Ah, good man. You, gasp, have bested me. Huff, I yield. Gasp. That was incredible. You beat them both at the same time. Frontier Hand says, we knew you couldn't lose, Chad. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I've much work to do, if I'm ever to attempt the same. Well, that would be cool, but be sure not to ignore your bride. And judging by the smiles on many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the peril of the realm at bay. Getting confusing. Chad, I'm at the point now where I've got a whole lot of spells on my action bars, and I'm having to try to sort out how to really play the monk. And it's confusing because there are set rotations. They're not set rotations, but it's like depending upon which chakra is available, then you've got a certain set of spells that you need to use. And if you're in a different chakra, then you use a different set of spells. And it's confusing. So I'm still trying to sort all of that out, but I'm getting better at it. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardians of Eorzea. Yeah, I've still got more homework. It's like I haven't found a guide that explains it to me like I'm 3. And I kind of need that. So all the different guides that I've run into just kind of like assume you already understand the basics of it, and it's like I kind of got some of the basics, but I don't see, for example, there's nothing that tells me this is the chakra that's up right now. So that's the kind of stuff that I really could use, and I'm trying to find that kind of information on how to find it and stuff like that. And it's how to see it on the screen quickly, and you know, that kind of thing is, you know, well, I'm also dealing with a game that's like 10 years old. So this stuff is so old, people ignore it now. But yeah, for me, trying to learn the whole thing. Yeah, how to monk for dummies. There we go. That's what I need. Yeah. Let's see. Alphanod says, do you recall when we first met? 'Twas at the memorial service for the Battle of Carteneau. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason my grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abound, and yet the effort I saw expended toward their solution was haphazard and half felt. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Well, at least the kids are. Concerning the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. Legatus's single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. And 'twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. Ah, what a heartfelt thing. Gee, thank you, Alphanod. I'm glad I was able to, like, help you. Yeah, Chad looks shocked and awe. 'Twas you who taught me, though the countless acts of bravery, that what my grandshire sought to preserve was not the land, not its history, nor any single nation. I do it for the children. Oh, it was the people. These wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Yeah, especially this dude over here. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. I wish that has now become my own. Good job. What about your sister? Alphanod's got a sister, and we haven't seen her for, like, ever. She's just, like, disappeared. I, too, will endeavor to take up the mantle of guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Of course, however, it is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the science of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Okay. I do organizing, yes. Good job, Chad. Your level's no longer synced. Alright, where am I going? I gotta go back to the Rising Stone. Okay. Ah. Oh, where is he? He's gotta be inside. There's the door. Is he out here? Nope. Must be in the Rising Stone. Well, it says, look in the Rising Stones. Read the text. Dag. Where am I going? Oh, it's right there in the text. Oh, God. Yes. Alphanod. Thank you for coming, Chad. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be a step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. And let's see, I've got Savage Might Materia number 4. Determination +4, not tenacity. Skill speed 4. No, I think determination is what I need. So we'll take that one. Thank you. Now that's materia, so it's something that I would have to add to my armor, and I have to go someplace else in order to add it, I think, if that's correct. All right, Alphanod, what's up? Alphanod wishes to request your assistance for his new endeavor. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th astral era, the leaders of the 3 nations shall have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. The realm-wide grand company, if you will, the military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the science. 'Tis my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of Scion's are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, 'tis yet necessary that I visit the 3 leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey. Make me tired and time-consumed as well, right? Yeah, okay. And attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Okay. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the Bringer of Light and his discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lominsa. Lima Bean! Let us rendezvous at the Bulwark Hall. And off he goes. So I'm going to be traveling to the 3 main cities. Okay. What the hell? What is... Suddenly I got all this stuff showing up in my... What's talking? Ah! Okay, so I had something showing up on my... all of a sudden, like, I have a browser window open, and it started playing an ad in the background, and I'm hearing this ad going, brr, 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 and it's like, no, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to listen to this. Another surprise. Silence all of the websites. Alright, exit. I guess I could, like, just... I'm gonna stand in this area. Or stay in this area. But I'm gonna take the, let's see, I need to go to Limsa Laminsa. So let's go to Limsa Warnix. Limsa, I had such a difficult time saying Limsa Laminsa when I first started playing this game. I still do, but for the longest time I just said, yeah, I'm going to Lima Bean. It's easier to say. And I go this way. I think Bulwark Hall. Yeah, here's Bulwark Hall. I can almost talk. There's Alphanod. All for naught. Ah, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak to Admiral well, whatever. While the Admiral and I are finalizing promissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis of no matter should you already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you're satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we may prepare for the next leg of our journey. I am so confused. Scout out potential recruits. Oh, I just have to talk to 5 people. Okay. So I'm going to go... I'm on the upper deck. So where? This is where I'm supposed to be, right? Oh, no. I gotta go up. Is it the lower deck? I guess I'm on the lower deck. So I need to go up. Unless this goes down. There. Upper deck. Yeah, there we go. Now I see all kinds of people. Alright, they're showing up here, then I'm on the upper deck. So let's go this way. See if we can find... Oh, no. Is that where I'm supposed to go? No. So apparently there's like... We're going to go this way. So here's one down here. Doesn't matter who you talk to as long as you talk to these people. Alright, that's fine. The missing member. Roswen. Hello. Who in the bloody elves do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for your righteous flop, try knocking on that dandy Carvalion's door. Oh, okay. Apparently that was not the right person to speak with. So we'll go out and try another. And there's apparently one over here. Ah, Guildmaster. Hello. A precursor to the United Eorzean's Grand Company? While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here are Naldic and Millie Vanilli? Yeah, something like that. Vanilli. Hey, yeah. Keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. All right. That sounds good. And one more on this end of things, and we got to traipse on over to the other side. Where's the door? I could have walked around, I guess. Why don't I just do that? And we'll go this way. Just passing through. Excuse me. Nothing to see. Oh, no. I needed to go that way. Oops. Down. Through this door. And then to the left. And down this gangplank. To the next next cave. The anchor yard. I don't know if I've ever been over here. Of course, there's a lot of stuff in this game I've not been around. All right. Real. Well, if it ain't Chad. I'd not forget adventurer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. Ye remember old Ryle, don't ye? Formerly of the Company of Heroes. 3 whistles at Bronze Lake? Aye. It ain't often I dragged me arse out to Limsa for a drink, but I am right glad I did. How fare ye these days? Yeah, this guy was out on the islands, and he was part of the company that took down one of the Leviathan, I think, was what that storyline was all about. You're looking to put together a new crew, a top-tier work? Sounds like a right lark, it does. All right, alrighty, lad, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. That's a good thing. Okay, so we got 1. And now we got to go all the way over to the other end of the place. Where are they? Do they show up on here? Or they don't show up on the map. Let me drag the map. So up by Culinarian's Guild. Oh, actually, I have to do the Marauders Guild. So, yeah, let's do the Marauders Guild thing. I need to find... Is there a Atheryte stone here? No, there is not. Crap. Okay. Now we're going to go down this way. We'll start walking that way. There's a stone off to the left, so I'll go touchy that stone. Let's see, we're going to do... Oh, we don't have those. Crap. Well, that doesn't do any good. I guess I'm going to go... I have those on my other character. I don't have them here. Nah, we're not going that way. We're going up. Up on the map. Which way are you headed? Up. Through the drowning wench. So it looks like there's one inside the 7th Sage. Where? Up here? Up! Trevelyan. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity? I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there is time to act and a time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Well, I'm not doing so well recruiting people. Got one more over here. I need a touchy on this stone. No, the stone. There we go. Now I'm attuned here. I'm going to grab this other one. This other one, yeah, that's a culinary academy. I haven't attuned to that one either, so I need to do that. And Rainer. Master Alphanod's new organization? Yes, I had heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Leminsa must needs receive my full attention. Okay, fine. Be that way. Alright. Those are all done. And now we go back at the airship landing. Okay. But on the way, I'm going to go take a detour, go over and talk to the Culinary Academy folks. And they're down over here. I'm actually not going to talk to them. I'm just going to grab the stone. I'm going to get stoned, dude. There we go. Alright, so where am I supposed to go next? Good question. Is it on the lower deck? I gotta go back to the lower deck. Okay. Airship landings, lower deck. What's near there? Do I have nothing? Where am I right now? Okay, I'm up here. So, oh, I can go to the lower deck. This way. Now it's probably... Now it'll show up on my map. And... where is it on my map now? Not showing. Well, it's like bloody stuck in there somewhere. Oh, I'm just over here. Okay, so we're going this way. Oh, that's right. It's in the fork aft castle, or Blower Call. You have to go up. I think. There we go. Yes, airship landing. There's Alphanod. Did you get our tickets? Chad, your recruiting went well, I trust? I'm curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Leminsa. Well, let me tell you. Did not go well. A member of the legendary company of heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. This guy, hey, he's like, good, we got one. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seer proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nofika's altar. And he's going there. So I'm going to take... I did that. So do I need to take an airship? I don't have to take the airship. I can, like, just go over to New Gridania. So we're going to go to New Gridania now. And where am I supposed to go now? Old Gridania. Okay, so where's... I guess still got to go over to the Conjurer's Guild. Still the Conjurer's Guild. Okay, so... Yeah. Duh. And Conjurer's Guild's right there. I should get the Botanist Guild. If I get the Botanist Guild, then I'll have all the areas. There's Alphanod. Okay. My audience with the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Alright, and now I've got... Okay, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4? Yeah, just 4 here. Alright, so we'll go out. Actually, I can take... Not trader. The amphitheater. Yeah, the amphitheater. So we're going to the amphitheater. Hopefully I have the... Yes, I do. Take me there. Alright, so my first victim is over here. Except I have to figure out... Oh. I can't talk to him. Go through the ticket counter, I guess. How the hell do you get over there? Where's the entrance? Oh, there it is. Laurentius. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at Buscarons. Oh, Okay, so in the original game, this guy was out in the forest, and he was like stealing stuff and trading it in order to make do, and I busted him, so that was part of that. Okay. Do you remember? Yes, now I remember. Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if Gaul had changed me more than I realized. Now that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what you adventure, what business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? And what is the policy on reformed convicts? As matters stand, the wood whalers will have not more to do with me. This may be just the second chance I was looking for. Reverend Toll, you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this. I promise you, I am a changed man. Okay, one guy down. So where's the next one? So it looks like I got to go up to Lancer's Guild. Hopefully I have that. Do I have Lancer's Guild? Yes, I do. Someone just right there. Oh, 'tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited. This company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. All right, that's fine. And 2 more this direction. So we'll go that way. Ugh. Ursundel. He's kind of old to be recruiting, but okay. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions? I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young master, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remains to me, and bear responsibilities for the evils my lady has brought upon this land. Okay, so he was like the head butler in one of the dungeons, and his mistress was like possessed. So yeah, I remember him too. He's also wearing a really strange codpiece, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so he's out of the question. So who else do I got? We're gonna come over here. There. Elian. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry. We were just... Oh, Chad, isn't it? It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copper Bell Mines. That's very true. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mion tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome black wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of the new order. Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would have much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. That is very good. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Ilzadar safely home. All right, got 2. And that is apparently the last of it. I want to go to one of the... Where am I supposed to go? Oh, I gotta go back to the airship landing. I want to make sure I've got all of the points. All the Aetheryte nodes. We'll find out by clicking here. I'm missing 2. Lancer's Guild and the Botanist Guild. So where is... Lancer's Guild is near us now? Where am I right now? I am not there. I thought I was. Where's my... I don't see where I am on the map. This is old Gridania, so I need to go to New Gridania? Is that where I need to go? Yeah, apparently. Archers Guild is there. Leather Workers Guild. Alright, so if I go to Leather... Where am I? Up here, Lancers Guild. Okay, so if I go to Leather Workers Guild, can I pick up another one? Which is this. Got that one already. Materia Master. Ah, okay. I'm going to do this... Oh! Lancers Guild. Okay, so if I go Leather Workers Guild... Do I have that? Yes, I do. Okay, we're going to do Leather Workers Guild and then grab the Lancers Guild. So I'm going to go around the corner and do that. And you got to go through the building, that's right. Who are you people? That's funny. Okay. This person's running around trying to pick up the nodes as well. Oh, Oh, I've got this one. Masters Guild. How come it's not... What is this? Current location. Yes. Do I have the Botanist Guild? I do not have the Botanist Guild. Nope. Crap. So I'm all the way over on the other side of things. Well, okay, never mind. I'm going to go to the amIright Plaza and pick up, finish the quest, because we're just about done for the day. And this way. I gotta go into the building, I thought. This building. And I go downstairs. Except they won't let me go downstairs. No, you may not jump to your death. Why not? It's fun. Okay, down this way. There's Alphanod. So we still have the other location to go to. We have to go back to Ul'dah. What news, Chad? For my part, the Elder Seer was most amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer, our company will not lack for variety. That much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Okay, so now I got to go to Ul'dah. And yeah, I'm going to go to the steps. Where do I need to go in order to... The Royal Promenade, recruiting the realm. That's got to be... That has got to be... Husting Strip. Oh yeah, Chamber of Rule. There we go. Around the corner, talk to Alphanod again. And he'll send me off to go talk to 25 people or something. Ul'dah, the gilded city where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest ascending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Chad. Okay. And I'm going to run back around. Looks like I need to go to the lower deck, or the lower portion anyway, because I can't get to any, well, I can get to these places, but... Okay, let's go down to... Merchant Strip. Okay, let's go over to the Gladiators Guild. Is there someone... Wilred. Wait, you're the man who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make of myself a more worldly man. So here I am. A new company of champions? And you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little El Amigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Okay, one down. Let's see if I can find these others. Looks like they're all like on the lower section here, so I should be able to find them pretty easy. Then we'll call it a day, because I have to talk to 5 people total. Should be one right around the corner. And there. Landbert. You surprised that rumors drift down to Pearl Lane? I know that this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Yeah, that guy's been hanging out on Twitter too long. Conspiracy theories continue. Okay, what a Sindgot. What do you think? A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next all over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Yep, no, I guess not. All right, we're going to go back. And we'll go this way. I'll have to come back here in order to transfer back upstairs. So, oh no, we got to go to somewhere else. Orson. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I am Orson, the Church of Saint Adama Landama. Adama Lamama Lama Lama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companions? Thancred, wasn't it? Ah, 'tis new companions you seek then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Okay. Go talk to this last one. Yellow Moon. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning lady? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, sir. Oh, come on. You look like my type. Guess not. Alright, so we need to go back to... where? Royal Promenade. So, like I said, I have to go back, get to a stone right here, and then go back up to the Royal Promenade. And, let's see, that will be... Looking. I know I'm looking at it. Chamber of Rule. Yeah, I'm curious where this is going to lead, because I have no clue whatsoever. Alpha Nod. Cutscene. How fared you, Chad? What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? Unrelenting. Okay. Huh. A single Alamegan youth? Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk to Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless. And the hope that inspires these people are born in no small part with the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Chad. I will not squander the precious gifts you have placed into my keeping. All these, like a pirate and an old guy and no, some carekeeper and a young kid, yeah. Oh, and a thief, yeah, on top of that. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. Okay. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the document signed, and the finances secure. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned with the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Oh, that's no fun. Come on. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubt surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for the United Eorzea. Alright, so I gotta go back. I kind of want to finish this quest line. Or this particular one, because I don't know where it's headed. There's the Sultana. She's the fat bottom girl. Or her dress is. Let's put it that way. She looks kind of like a garlic. Yeah, she looks like a garlic. Tell me, General, what think you of Alphinaud's bold endeavor? I think it's more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience. Since facing the common threat of the ultimate weapon, our nations have seemed further apart, not closer together. Consider the many problems we face. Should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative? We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ulduar is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the three grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body, but whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant portion of this financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army? I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for the finances, full many gave generously, and though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the warrior of light would betray our cause. Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet, I have known people to change. Whether we will or not, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like dust devils skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about teledigi? 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 Whatever. I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace, but as Old Dawn law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands. Oh, she's angry. Garlic's pissed. He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing. Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice. Oh, she's crying. Oh no. Hold me, Raban. And he's like, what the hell? Have faith, Your Grace, it is not over. It's like, wait a second. I didn't sign up for this. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, we're off to. Oh yeah, I go back to the rising sun or wherever. Okay, so teleport back out to Reverence Toll. And I'm not there anymore. So where is that showing that? There we go. I always like start turning the wrong way here. In this inside. Back to the Rising Stones. As opposed to the Rolling Stones. Okay, Alpha Nod. So, hopefully this one won't take long. That is not a journey I wish to soon repeat, but I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all of our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your service, Chad. I am certain the Addisine will be relieved to see you free for other duties. And I'll take that. Now, if you look at the experience chart, it's like 580,000 experience points in order to get to the next level, which tells me that they have purposely made this huge level in order to keep you at the same level while you're doing this particular content. So I just noticed it's like, I'm not getting any higher than I currently am. It's just kind of like standing still. So I don't know whether they did that when the game was first put out, but that'd be kind of an interesting thing to research and figure out. Okay. Monophilia. Oh, you know what? I'm going to like stop here because I just noticed it is 12:15. It is time for me to turn into a turnip as opposed to a garlic. If I don't see you before the next time I see you, have a good day. Have a good afternoon. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the follow, and I will see you soon. Bye now.